Hey everyone, happy new year. Happy halfway into January. I know you have probably set some big goals for yourself and I hope that they are well underway. So if you trade in the zero DTE world, January might have kicked your ass already. I'm so glad that in 2020 I learned, and in 2020 I have executed and applied my discipline. But more on that later. All right, we all know that 2020 was an unprecedented time in the world and especially in the stock market. So if you made it out of 2020 with profits and an account size big enough to trade another year, congratulations. In this video, I wanted to recap my zero DTE SPX trades. All right, the bottom line up front is I made just over $28,000. I never risked more than $5,000 in any one trade. And that is a return of over 600% on my capital. So before I get into the weeds, let me share with you two lessons that I am carrying forward into 2021. All right, number one is position size. So any professional trader would agree that the focus just is not on how much money you're making. It is perfecting your strategy. So once you do that, the money can be scalable. So where I only made $28,000, someone who had $10,000 to risk and took the same exact trades as me could have made $66,000. And someone who had $20,000 to risk could have made upwards of $100,000. So the goal here is to perfect the strategy and then scale up in your position size. Okay, but scaling up too soon can be detrimental. So one thing that I'm proud of in 2020 is despite my growing account size, that I didn't increase my contract size. I stayed consistent throughout the whole year. And going forward, I will probably keep about the same risk tolerance, except that I will either widen my strikes or go further out of the money to safer strike prices, lower deltas. And, so for me, my position size also has a lot to do with my stress levels. So if you trade credit spreads, you know what I mean, because your trade often goes red before it goes green. And I don't like to be in a position size that takes the fun out of trading for me. When I trade with too big of size, it makes me all the more anxious to want to exit the trade, even if it's a winner. So when you figure out your position size, it should be appropriate for your account size and for your risk tolerance. All right, number two, being a professional loser. So in the stock market, winning is easy, but if you're not a good loser, you will blow up your account. So you need to have a plan to lose. For me, in the credit spread strategy, that is having a 3x stop loss. So if the premium that I received in the morning has increased to 3 times itself, I need to cut the trade. I need to exit the trade. In 2020, I was not a professional loser, and you will see that in my trading results. Not being able to accept that I was in a losing position cost me a lot of money. This year, 2021, I have already been stopped out 3 times back to back. That is so discouraging, but I'm a better loser now because one, I am positioned correctly so my account can withstand several losers. but also my confidence isn't blown because I know that the strategy works. So I need the probabilities to work themselves out over time. Listen, you cannot be a successful trader if you can't sustain losses or you give up too easily and then you just start looking for the next shiny trade. There is no trade, no strategy that works 100% of the time. So let's look at my trading log. Here is my trading log. I have it broken down by quarters. And so all of these spreads are 5-wide spreads. I'll put the calculation for risk on the window somewhere, on the screen somewhere. Quarter 4 here, even in these iron condors, here's the strikes here. These do not require any more buying power than a regular 5-wide spread, so long as the spread distance on each side is equally distant. I put, let's see, all the totals into like a calendar here. And you can see that actually January and May were net loss months for me. July was my best month. Here's my total profits, what capital I risked, my ending capital, the return on my capital. I think I mentioned that earlier in the video. Here are, well, let's look at, a max loss, which I took one in August. I made a video about this max loss. I will link it somewhere on the screen right here. You can see that a max loss wipes out the gains of many, many trades versus a regular 3x loss that can be made up in just a few trades. So I went over this in a video, but obviously adhere to your rules. And here are my metrics. So let's see, I did a total of 154 trades. I won 133 of them. Here's my largest loss, my largest win. And is there anything on the calendar that I didn't go over? Okay, yep, that's it. All right. None of those metrics are things that play into my trading every day. I don't really even think about those numbers at all. I know that there's a lot of traders who whittle down every single trade metric, every single hour, every single minute, or who have very intricate measures, but I don't operate that way. I just need to see my account growing and I focus on keeping my losers small. I know that the strategy works. I know that it needs time to play out for the probabilities to work themselves out. If you would have started in May and had a red month, you'd have given up after a month. But like most strategies, they need time to come to fruition. Trading SPX on a 0 DTE timeframe is not a strategy I made up. Literally tens of thousands of retail traders trade this strategy, and for good reason. It works. This strategy can make you rich if you're not in a rush. One last point that I want to make here is that the $5,000 was not my entire account size. The $5,000 is just a small percentage of a much larger account. So I don't want to give the impression that I risked my entire account size. So if you have $5,000, it would be foolish to start and, throw your entire account size into every trade. If you're starting with a small amount, you really need to be doing 1 or 2 contracts. And honestly, I think that deters a lot of new options traders from trading credit spreads because it's just not exciting to be making $50 to $100 a day. It's just not. But like I said, it takes time, as do most good strategies, and you need to let the probabilities play themselves out. All right, so thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me along in 2021. I will update you on other strategies and my 0 DTE success. Let's learn together. Let's earn together. Thank you, everyone. Bye.